Gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you again to the 2018 Musclecar and Corvette Nationals, one of my favorite shows in all of the world, where the top muscle cars, not only in condition but also significance and personal stories, are oftentimes revealed after fresh restorations, and that's where we are right now, getting ready to pull the cover on a very special Oldsmobile. And I'm joined by Alan Steinbach from Garner Restoration and Stephen Minore, who's the owner of the car. Alan, as your team pulls the cover, can you say a few words?
Sure. On behalf of Garner Customs and Restorations, I'd love to thank Bob and Vicki Ashton for putting on a great event. We're so excited to be here, and we're happy to be part of this unveiling this amazing W31.
Yeah! Wow.
So, Stephen, this car has a really interesting story behind it with your involvement, not only with this one, but with these W31 cars. Tell us what we're looking at and a little bit of that story.
Well, this car was bought in 1993. I bought it from a guy in New Jersey called Bob Trishman, who couldn't make it today, but he's here. This car was a running car, and I've owned it since '93. It's a 1970 W31 4-speed, one of 1,029 with the 4 speeds built. Galleon gold, black stripes, black interior. I just have a very deep love for this car. As you can tell, I'm getting very emotional already, and I was told I can't cry, so I'm going to try to keep the tears back. So, do I get to thank everybody now, or after?
Let me ask you a question.
All right.
So, Stephen, I can understand the emotion behind it, because there was not only finding the car, but enjoying the car and now seeing it restored. Tell us a little bit about what is in that W31 package that makes this car so special.
Well, W31 package consists of the rammer hood mandatory, the side stripes just like the W30, the 70 sport style only 1970 mirrors, special calibrated heads, number 6 heads, factory aluminum W31 intake manifold, a specially calibrated quadrajet carburetor, 255 is the number, very rare carburetor, dual exhaust, no cutout bumper on a W31, special harmonic balancer. This particular car's got 391, so it's got a 4-core radiator, fan shroud and fan clutch.
And it's a 350.
And it's a 350 cubic inch engine. It looks like a 350 cubic inch engine, but it's got some performance items inside, flat top pistons. It actually has a 1970 W30 4-speed factory camshaft, advanced 4 degrees. I just wanted to let all of you know that. It has a very, very unique sound, and that's the way I wanted it to sound. Very, very lumpy, as we say. So.
The startup will come after the show, gentlemen, but don't worry.
Right now. I want to start it right now.
So, okay, so a car like this doesn't just happen on its own, and I understand you've got a few people you'd like to thank as he breaks out his list. Go for it.
Well, I've got a list, and I'm going to try to make this as fast as I can. And first of all, I apologize if I've forgotten any of you. All of you know that you had a big part of this. As you can see, everybody that's standing around here, all of you know what you've done. So I want to first thank my friends and family that are here, especially my mom, my dad, my brother, my wife Barbara that's home that couldn't make it. She was a very big part of this, and she's been supportive from the beginning. Number 2 on the list is Garner, Ken, and Alan, and Frank and Franklin. Those guys have spent many hours and weekends and days and Sundays and time away from their family, and this is what they do. This is the kind of work and dedication that these guys do, and you can see it here. I have no words, obviously, but I want to keep going with this list. Vicki and Bob Ashton for inviting us, for giving us this prime space, for giving us this time to speak, for giving us this W31 Invitational. That leads me into Dan Vasic and Joe Spignoli. I know they had a lot to do with this W31 Invitational, and I want to thank you guys for that. Dan, you did a great job lining up all these W31s all together. Thank you very much. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Drew Harden from Musclecar Review. As most of you know, we've done some of the magazine articles already, and those guys, you know, Drew is just, we work really good together. We're trying to get these articles together. They're not the easiest thing to put together with the pictures and the captions and things like that, so Drew's has spent a lot of time working with me to do that, so I wanted to thank him. Beth and Stefano from Nicky Performance. 3 years ago, Stefano flew me out here to Chicago to look at some very rare Oldsmobiles, and he kind of put me on the map for doing this certification and authentication thing. And I wanted to thank them deeply, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. So we need to give them a bigger round of applause. They're some very special people. Scott Tedrow, Ken Maizano, and Adam Stankus from Musclecar Restorations in California. They gave me an opportunity a couple years ago to help them with one of the most badass Oldsmobile in the world, as far as I'm concerned. A 70 black W30 that came out outstanding, and they used me and consulted with me to do that restoration from top to bottom, and it won very high honors. The only Oldsmobile to get 1,000 points at this show. So a big round of applause for them. They do so much for the muscle car community here. They're here every year. They're right over there. Their unveiling is going to be at 11 o'clock, I believe. You need to be over there, because those are some of the best muscle cars in the world. They do a great job on all their restorations. All right, so here we go with the big list. Bruce Ponte, Rick Bedford. They were instrumental in the rear end and the engine build of this car, and also dedicated all kinds of hours along with everybody else, okay? I really appreciate that, guys, big time. Garner Exhaust, Eric from Garner Exhaust. A lot of you in the muscle car world know who Eric is, and they make one of the best exhaust systems in the world for these cars, and this thing went on beautifully. Eric does a great job. David Bundy, this is your engine in the car, so I appreciate that very much. The guys from Inline Tube, they make some of the best restoration parts for these cars that are very unique and right on the money. So Inline Tube spends a lot of money, and they do a lot of good things for the Oldsmobile community. So I want to give them a round of applause right now. They do a really, really good job. Not just with the Oldsmobile stuff, but they have a very deep, extensive line of Oldsmobile reproduction parts that are pretty much right on the money. Jeff at H&H, he did a lot of work for us. He restored the console. He does all the dash applique for everybody. One of the top-notch guys in the country to do that kind of stuff. I want to thank Jeff. Fusick Automotive in Connecticut. They're a local guy to me. Mike Fusick and Steve up there. I've talked to them every day for probably the last 6 months to order parts every day. They do a really good job, again, with all the restoration parts. They make a lot of the grill pieces and everything, but you know, it's just amazing. It's amazing. I'm sorry I'm dragging on, but I gotta thank all these people. Legendary Interior, probably one of the best best interiors you can get for these cars. It fit perfect. It's beautiful. Rusty Small, he provided the tires. Beautiful. I love him. Rusty, you're doing a great job. He's not a big guy like everybody else, but he's very tall. But he does a lot for the community here. We're going to go on to the second page. Jim's.
How many pages you got?
2 more. Jim Stolman, good friend of mine, supplied a lot of parts. He's here, thank you. Fred Mandrick, he supplied a lot of the parts for this car, and I was always there at his beck and call with parts and advice. Thank you. Tom Plasti with parts. Jim McKeague, another W31 guru that helped me endlessly on this car. Ed Pienta, he sold me parts. Unbelievable. Casey Marks, he made that W31 invitational lamp right there. Just a great guy and a big W31 guy. The Oklahoma boys, I know you're here. I don't remember all your names. One of them is Rick. He's got a 71 442 here. He bought it brand new. Thank you, Rick, for coming and bringing everybody here. Here he is. Sam from Canada. Everybody knows who Sam from Canada is. He gave me a lot of advice on this car. Joe, Mr. W31 Guru. He's off the grid, but he's on the grid today. Thank you, Joe. Kevin Hawkins and Joey Cabral. from Rhode Island. He's here. He represents the Oldsmobile in the drag racing world right here. Give him a big hand. He's doing it a lot for us. Beautiful car. Keep doing it, Kevin. Jimmy Schmidt and his son here from Connecticut, Oldsmobile guys from the club. Roger Miziazik, Emilio Giano, a very good, close childhood friend that spent many, many hours with me on the phone. He's been to Florida with me to work on this car with me. Just a great guy and been a childhood friend forever. Jack Ellsworth is another friend of mine from Connecticut. I need to give him a round of applause. He's helped me through everything. And he's got an Oldsmobile that I worked on. Sean Eliason, another Oldsmobile guy. Pierce, all these guys that have helped me through the years. Dave Burgess, he actually provided the hood. Thank you very much, Dave. Jason Hines. Jason Hines does the Rocket Report with me every 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know if everybody has heard of that, but it's something that we enjoy, and he does a great job.
Keep it rolling, we gotta get the mic.
All right, Ryan Weaver, Scott Wynn, Frank from Long Island with the clock. Steve Paleo has his 1969 W31, couldn't make it. Ron Windlinger from New York, a very good friend of mine. Tweed, Basil Beck is a very good friend of mine and very active in the Olds community. Paul and Pino Tortorisi, prior owners. Tony Bonafide from New Jersey. Tim Murphy from Kentucky. Bob Trishman, another guy that used to own this car. Peter Fleming. Chip has a 1970 W30 here. I helped consult the restoration aspects of that car, some of it. It's the Sebring yellow car back there, beautiful car. Peter Fleming, 70 W31 silver. My cousin Peter Chilemi has done a lot for me in the Oldsmobile world. Had a 72 W30 from the beginning. Got me hooked on that hood. I'm very sorry, I have so many people. One more page and this is it. Terry Divalbus, Jeff Cox, and your colleague. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming. And there's two special people that I have to mention here at the end. A good friend of mine, Joe Letourneau, he loved this car and he's with us up in heaven. And I know he enjoyed his day. And a good friend of mine, Kevin Tennyson. He's a great Oldsmobile guy that couldn't be with us today, and he's up in heaven watching now too. He's been many rides with this. So I appreciate it very much. And I'm at the end of my list. And I hope that I didn't forget anyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this. Thank you. I'm sorry it took so long. I love all you guys. Thank you. Sorry it's so long.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you at the next unveiling. Heartfelt speech.
Thank you.